Today we're going to be talking about controversial ways in which I invest in myself. Selfish habits. How do I define selfish habits? To me, that involves putting yourself first at the expense of no one else, but you're putting yourself first. You're choosing to invest in yourself. Especially for women, we often get caught up in the people-pleasing realm because that's kind of how we're socialized. It's something that I've definitely struggled with and have come to realize more and more. And I wanted to share 5 things that I stand by as habits that I hold to myself because I've realized that I am better off doing these 5 things. And I'm gonna share that with you right now. So if you're new here, my name is Macy. I'm 23 years old. I live alone in New York City, and I am on a mission to become the best version of myself, and I'm assuming that if you're watching this video, you are as well. So welcome to the journey. Without further ado, let's get into it. Number 1 is not responding immediately or being available to everyone. This one is something that I have struggled with for quite some time. I've definitely grown up thinking that I was obligated to maintain friendships, I was obligated to hang out with people, and I was obligated to be available to everyone whenever they needed me to be available. It was always being available on someone else's terms and not my own. And I think it's important to, 1, take that power back for yourself, and 2, set a boundary with other people around you. For the longest time, I've considered myself to be a pretty bad texter. Like, the way that I see it, it's never personal. Usually it's that I am very tunnel visioned. I have a task at hand, I'm focused on something that I need to get done, and that's the only thing that's in front of me, and it's consuming all of my brain power. All my resources are allocated to that one thing. Now, everything else around me, because of this tunnel vision, is like background noise. It's static, and it's not meant to be offensive. It's just that is how my brain operates. And so I've always been a very bad texter. Like, sometimes I might just open it and then forget to respond because I'm so consumed by what other project that I have going on. And over time, I used to always apologize and be like, I'm so sorry for being a bad texter. And there is an element that people can perceive that as being rude. I'm someone that greatly appreciates a nice little follow-up text if I don't get back to you, and it's probably because I'm so consumed with something. With that being said, I've come to kind of acknowledge that this is part of how I operate. Granted, if this is an emergency and I'm taking ages to respond, that's a different scenario versus someone just being like, hi, how are you? Or telling me about the weather, whatever it is. I like to eliminate the small talk. In the past, I think I used to really spend a lot of time and energy focused on, oh my gosh, this is so rude. I need to be responding to people. I want to make sure that I maintain these relationships. Like, I need to engage in the small talk and stuff like that. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that, me personally, I'm gonna focus on what is most urgent in my priorities of the day because I have so many different things going on. With friendships especially, this is something that I notice that can come off as a bit of a strain to others. It's inherently selfish. I'm focused on the things that I want, and it's something that I've realized, once I kind of let that go, let go of this, I have to respond to all these people, whatnot, it's so much more freeing. At the end of the day, I gotta choose myself and what protects my peace, and it just so happens that texting is one of those things that I choose to protect my peace. Being available to everybody all the time is not sustainable, and it, to me, drains my energy. I wanna be in the present. I wanna be focused on doing the things that I love and engaging in. When I am constantly on my phone texting other people, it's just not a very sustainable means of catching up. It takes away from a lot of things, and I'm kind of anti-texting. I will text people, and if you're one of my friends watching this, you probably have experienced the agony of having to communicate with me, but that's just something that I do for myself. It's to protect my peace. It's never to be offensive to anyone else, and I truly stand by now to this day. All right, number 2. So this one's a little harsh. Cutting people off. So I think this is something that I have really struggled with in the past. Again, it goes along with this feeling of obligation to other people. I do not have an issue cutting people off now. I think specifically if they are a negative influence in my life. It's, again, never to be offensive or rude or to be spiteful. It's solely on the basis that I only have so much time and energy that I can allocate throughout the day. I want to make sure that I'm spending and allocating that time and energy efficiently, effectively, and purposefully. If somebody is not adding value to my life in some way, or they're bringing me down, if I feel like I have to shrink myself, if I feel like I have to not be authentically who I am, that's not somebody that I really want as a close friend. The saying goes that you are the average of the 5 closest people around you, and I truly do believe that. I think in the past, there were a lot of people that you grow up with, and there's nothing wrong, but you're not really like getting much value from the friendship. Like there's not a lot of fulfillment, there's not a lot of depth. You're kind of just like surface level friends. For me, I think in the past, I've always like feared cutting people off or doing my own thing because I didn't want to be rude. But guess what? Like, there is no point in wasting anyone else's time. I think I've realized now, like, it's more rude to waste other people's time by taking their time and their energy and engaging in a friendship that you don't really even see going anywhere or building depth or whatever. It's not worthwhile. So I've, in the recent years, have let myself like fade out of friendships that weren't serving me, or I felt like, man, like this person is really like draining my energy. A good question that I've asked myself is like, how do I feel when I'm around this person? Like, what version of myself do I become when I'm in this person's presence? Like, am I energized? Do I feel more positive? Am I being challenged in a positive way? What aspects of myself do I like or do not like when I'm around this person? And I really evaluate my friendships in this manner now. It goes back to that like sense of selfishness where it's never about trying to hurt anybody else or wanting to be rude or to put someone else down. It's solely on the basis that I have to choose myself at the end of the day. Like, that's kind of the bottom line of this video. I really want to be intentional about like the friendships that I have and like the people that I invest in, because that to me is everything. Like the fulfillment, love, all of that. And I'm so grateful for my close friends, and they mean the world to me. I might take forever to respond, but they mean the world to me. I'm definitely someone that prefers two close friends versus like a friend group of people that I don't have that level of like depth with. Like, I want to be with people who challenge me, inspire me, and bring the best versions out of myself. And being selective and curating that, I think, is something that often gets overlooked. The reminder here is that you don't owe anyone anything, and that your only obligation is to yourself, to your future family, to the life that you want to build. You do not owe anyone your time and energy. Number 3, leaving the function early. All right, so I'm not an Irish exit type of gal. However, I will always say that I have to go. Man, I really feel like I'm kind of just exposing myself. I will leave most things early, or I will not go. I will say no. That includes birthday parties and housewarmings and things that are not within my sphere of urgencies. Now, I know that's probably really, really rude sounding, but you gotta kind of own it, because to me, I've got things that I gotta do. I have to be in bed by 10 p.m. I need to be able to meal prep on my weekends. I need to be functioning. I need to be well, because the alternative is that I will be feeling like crap and nothing will get done. And then my whole schedule gets thrown off. And unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to achieve the things that I want for my life if I don't leave the function early and go to bed at 10 p.m. That can come off as rude to other people, because it's like, oh, she only stayed for like 30 minutes. The bottom line for me is that I'm gonna choose to do whatever supports the life that I want to have. It might look super glamorous on Instagram with all the pictures and all the things, but truth be told, like, I would like to be in bed by 10 p.m. because I have to wake up at 5 a.m. the next morning to be able to go to my workout class. Things go hand in hand with like balance, right? You need to be able to have times where you go out and you enjoy your friends' company and you get to socialize and you get to be in that environment. To me, balance looks like going out, but leaving early. This just happens to be one of the things that is a big non-negotiable. All right, habit number 4, choosing to meal prep or any non-negotiable over anyone and everyone else. Now, that sounds so mean. I can feel the natural people-pleasing tendencies like bristling inside me, because it's uncomfortable for me to like say this out loud. But if I'm leaving early, it's probably because I have something to do. I need to make sure that I'm meal prepping throughout the week, because that, you know, is in line with financial responsibility, and also like making sure that I'm eating well and having a clean diet. And so I'm not eating out every single night. That means going to bed at a reasonable hour, because I need to be up super early to work out, because I work out 2 hours a day. Like, that is kind of really difficult. And there are so many things that make up the life that I want to be living and feel so passionate about. If I'm not doing those things, I'm probably like just not well. Like, I probably feel like crap. The best feeling to me is when I am on top of my stuff. I feel ready to go. I feel prepared. And so my non-negotiables always have to come first. Like the routines, the habits that I do, that I talk about in my other videos, like that always comes first, no matter what like social circumstance that I'm in. Even when it comes to work, not a soul that is touching these boundaries. Perhaps dating, but that's something that I have to work on. I hate feeling the Sunday scaries. That's like the worst feeling in the world. When I don't feel well rested, when I feel like I'm off track. For me, like the perfect lifestyle lifestyle, if you will, is one that involves a lot of delayed gratification, but still maintains a level of balance. So you're not like depriving yourself of good experiences and fun, but you're still maintaining like a level of structure and balance to your day-to-day where it's sustainable, you're able to carry this out consistently, you're kind of meeting that 80% threshold where you're getting things done, but like you still have that like 20% of fun and you're enjoying life. Having a good balance is really important. However, it also means that there needs to be certain boundaries. I would rather cook all day on a Saturday than I would go out to the club or like go have dinner with people. I know that I'm gonna feel so much more prepared for the week. I am not perfect by any means, so take this all with a grain of salt, but it is good guidance that I try to live by and at least live by 80% of the time. Last but not least, habit number 5. This one has taken me a while to get the hang of. Being more straightforward with people. As a kid, I used to be so afraid to tell people if they were doing something that made me uncomfortable. I would have such an issue vocalizing that, standing up for myself in all capacities. It was very difficult for me to be able to express how I felt. As I've gotten older, I've practiced this skill with close friends. Like if they are doing whack behavior, that's something that I will now vocalize. And it's kind of very simple. Any sort of relationship, both platonic, romantic, like I'm a very straightforward person and I wasn't always that way. I kind of had to train myself to be that way. And I think that has saved me so much time and energy in just like protecting my peace, but also like preserving my relationships by just being very direct and saying like, hey, like, you know, I felt like this when XYZ. It's very simple. Why build resentment over time when you can resolve it in like 5 seconds the first time? I think a lot of my friendships are as close as they are because we've gotten past certain like hiccups or things that maybe I didn't like or they didn't like that I was doing, like kind of having a little check-in moment and like doing it in a way that isn't super offensive but gets the point across. Like you just gotta put yourself out there so you're not just like in friendships and feel obligated to be in them. Be upfront. It's more rude to just like not say anything and be a fake person to them. If you don't like something, say it in a nice way, but be firm, have your boundaries, and like stick to that because you're wasting other people's time. Resentment is something that compounds over time. Why am I so like irritated and angry with someone when there's just all these like small things that they're doing that they're not bad enough for me to speak up, but over time it's like, man, this person is so annoying. Like why do they keep doing weird things? Like why are they always late? Why are they like rude? Why are they putting me in uncomfortable situations and I feel obligated to say yes? Like the answer is they don't know. All this to say is that things do not have to be a conflict if you don't make it a conflict and you have normal conversations and are not afraid to speak up and let your feelings be known. Sure, there's an element of vulnerability that comes into that, and it's also important to check yourself and making sure that you're not making other people feel uncomfortable, etc. But it's important to speak up and be your own advocate and choose yourself because nobody else is going to be able to stand up for you in these circumstances other than yourself. And it's important to remember that because when it comes to building the life that you want, you need to be able to ask for things, you need to be able to set boundaries, you need to be able to say no, and you need to be able to have a higher self-concept if you're looking to get something that, you know, maybe other people don't believe that you should have. If you want to be better, like do better. It starts from respecting yourself, and if you don't respect yourself, why would somebody else want to respect you? It's kind of harsh, but like it's the truth. So hopefully this video was a little bit insightful. I know this was kind of a little different from the types of videos that I typically make that are a little bit more like routine oriented and whatnot, but I was just feeling very passionately about this people-pleasing concept, and I think it's something that a lot of women specifically struggle with too. I think a lot of my female friends can relate to this type of topic, and I thought I would speak on it today because it's something that we need more reminders to stand up for ourselves and don't be afraid to like take up space. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in next week's video. Bye-bye.